What's going on, everybody? This is Ayden Jackson. After a long wait, my new song, She Stole My Truck, will be out on March 14th. If you like the song, there's a link to pre-save it in my bio. Here's a little preview. I called the cops, but they put me on hold. I walked in the door and she stole the stereo. She stole my guitar and my mounted buck. But most of all, she stole my heart and stole my truck. Well, all I could see was taillights and a middle finger waving at me down the drive. Oh, well, lots of luck. She stole my truck. Today on the Ayden Jackson Show, we'll be discussing the Epstein files, Trump and Zelenskyy, and Elon Musk. All of that and much more, so stay tuned. Broadcasting from my studio, my name is Ayden, and this is the Ayden Jackson Show. If you're new here, I'm a country singer/songwriter, and on this podcast, I discuss world news and country music. Quick heads up, I've got some exciting news. My new song, She Stole My Truck, is dropping on March 1st, 2025, and I can't wait for you to hear it. It's a rowdy heartbreak anthem about a girl, a pickup, and a whole lot of dust in the rear view. Perfect for anyone who's ever been burned and still loves a good country tune. It'll be out on all platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, you name it, so mark your calendars for next Friday. Trust me, this one's going to hit you right in the feels and have you stomping along. Stay tuned for more and let me know what you think when it drops. I want to talk about that wild meeting President Trump had with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelenskyy on February 28th, 2025, right in the Oval Office. If you haven't seen it, let me tell you, Trump was on fire. He called out Zelenskyy for not being grateful enough for everything America's done. And honestly, he's got a point. Here's a guy who's been handed billions, hundreds of billions of our hard-earned tax dollars. And what do we get? A lecture about how we're not doing enough? Trump saw right through it. And I'm proud he stood up for us. Now let's get to the real issue, why sending cash to Ukraine is just plain wrong. First off, we're talking over $350 billion since this war started. Money that could have fixed our roads, secured our border, or helped Americans struggling to pay bills. Instead, it's gone to a conflict half a world away that, let's be real, we can't win. Trump's been saying it. Zelensky's a salesman, a former comedian who somehow convinced us to bankroll an endless war. And get this, reports say half the money's missing? Missing? Where'd it go? Fancy villas in Kyiv? We don't know, and that's the problem. This isn't about abandoning allies. It's about putting America first. Our stockpiles are drained, our patience is thin, and Europe's sitting there admitting they can't step up without us. Trump knows peace is the answer, not more blank checks. He told Zelenskyy straight up, "You're gambling with World War III," and he's right. Escalating this mess risks dragging us into something bigger, all while our own country's needs get ignored. That Oval Office showdown, it was Trump fighting for us, not some foreign agenda. All right, folks, let's dive into this mess. Last Thursday, February 27th, 2025, we finally got the so-called Epstein files Phase 1 from the Trump administration. Attorney General Pam Bondi hyped it up, promising transparency, flight logs, names, answers we've been demanding about Jeffrey Epstein's sick network. And what did we get? A measly 200 pages of mostly redacted fluff handed out in a flashy binders to a select crew of right-wing influencers at the White House. Transparent? Give me a break. This was a dog and pony show, and it stinks of a cover-up. Here's the deal. These documents, flight logs, a contact book, a mass use list, were already out there, leaked years ago, or used in Ghislaine Maxwell's trial. No new bombshells, no client list, just recycled scraps with half the pages blacked out. Bondi even admitted later she shortchanged, claiming the FBI's New York office is sitting on thousands of pages she never saw. She ordered FBI Director Kash Patel to cough them up by Friday morning. Deadlines come and gone, and crickets. Where's the full unredacted truth? Where's the accountability for the elites tied to this monster? Trump ran on draining the swamp, and I'm all for that, but this ain't it. Giving influencers binders labeled the most transparent administration in history, while the real files gather dust somewhere. That's theater, not transparency. The American people deserve the whole story, every name, every detail, no edits, no excuses. Until then, this release is just another tease in a decades-long game of hide the truth. What do you think? Am I off base here? I really hope they are planning prosecutions behind the scenes. Hopefully we will find out more soon. Let's talk about something hitting our wallets, egg prices. They're through the roof, averaging $4.95 a dozen in January 2025, and I've seen posts on X saying they're even hitting $7 in some spots. The left's out there trying to pin this on President Trump. But let's get real. This mess is Joe Biden's fault, not Trump's. Here's why. First off, this egg crisis didn't start when Trump took office on January 20th of 2025. No, it's been brewing since 2022 when that bird flu outbreak kicked off under Biden's watch. Over 100 million chickens, egg-laying hens, were wiped out, either by the virus or cold on Biden's orders to stop the spread. That's straight from the USDA, folks. 130 million birds gone since 22, with 30 million just this year alone. Biden's AG department mandated those mass killings, tanking our egg supply, and he did squat to fix it. No big biosecurity push, no real plan, just let it spiral. By the time he left office, eggs were already at $3.65 a dozen, up from $1.50 when Trump was last in charge in 2020. That's a 65% jump in 2024 alone, per White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Biden's inflation mess didn't help either. Feed costs soared, making every egg price more expensive to produce. Now, Trump's only been in office for a month and a half as of March 3rd, 2025. He's not the one who let this bird flu run wild for 3 years. Day one, he's fighting back. His USDA is rolling out a $1 billion plan with biosecurity upgrades, farmer relief, and even vaccine research to stop the bleeding. But here's the kicker. It takes 9 months to rebuild a flock. Trump can't snap his fingers and undo Biden's disaster overnight. The left screaming he broke his promise to lower prices immediately. But come on. He's up against a biological lag in a supply chain Biden trashed. Trump's not the villain here. He's the guy trying to clean up Sleepy Joe's mess. So next time you're shelling out for eggs, remember who really cracked this economy. Hint, it's not the guy in the White House. Let's talk about something wild hitting the headlines. Elon Musk just welcomed his 14th child. Yeah, you heard that right. On February 28, 2025, Neuralink exec Shivon Zilis announced on X that she and Elon had a baby boy named Sheldon Lycurgus. She called him built like a juggernaut with a solid heart of gold, and Elon dropped a heart emoji in response. This is their 4th kid together. They've already got twins, Strider and Azur, plus a 1-year-old named Arcadia. Talk about a growing crew. Now, Elon's no stranger to making headlines, but this one's got people buzzing. The guy's got 14 kids with 4 different women, 6 with his ex-wife Justine Wilson, 3 with Grimace, 4 with Zilis, and 1 with conservative influencer Ashley St. Clair, who spilled the beans about her 5 months old with Elon just 2 weeks earlier. That's a whole lot to keep up with. Posts on X are all over the place. Some folks are cheering him on, others are scratching their heads. His estranged daughter, Vivian, even chimed in on TikTok saying she found out about it through social media. Ouch. Family drama much? Elon's been loud about his pro-nationalism theme, thinks the world's doomed if we don't crank out more babies. He said declining birth rates are a bigger threat than climate change, and clearly he's putting his money where his mouth is, or well, his DNA. With Trump tapping him for the Doge gig to slash government waste, you'd think he'd be too busy to keep expanding the Musk dynasty, But nope, he's juggling it all. Love him or hate him, the guy's a force of nature. That is going to be the end of this episode of The Ayden Jackson Show. My name is Ayden, and this has been The Ayden Jackson Show.